What isn't? What's the problem? What isn't? Oh. You okay mentally? Everything all right? What isn't? Get away from me. Look behind you. What? Hold on. Pretty funny, Mr. Producer, don't you think? It's almost as funny Jamie Raskin. Jamie Raskin's at this event. He's at this event. He's got a lot of great things to say. Cut 13, go.
Dr. King said, we've got the right to protest for what is right without being arrested.
Deported? Or fired? First of all, who's hiring these people? They're morons. Anyway, go ahead.
We got the right to read the books we want.
Yes, you do. You have the right to read the books you want. What's the last book that you've read, Raskin? I mean, you probably have memorized the Communist Manifesto. What's the last book you read? So, in other words, when you try and take out of elementary school libraries pornography with graphics, you're apparently preventing adults from reading books. Can you name one adult in the entire country that's been prevented from reading whatever they want? No, we're encouraging reading. But can you think of one? There isn't one. But that's Jamie Raskin. This is what the Stalinists do. I invited him, Hakeem Jeffries. No, it was Hakeem Jeffries, Schumer, and Sanders on my shows over the weekend to come on the program, either individually or collectively. I want to confront them on tax cuts for billionaires, the destruction of Social Security and Medicare and Medicaid under Trump. I want to confront them. Do you know not one of them responded, Mr. Producer? But you've tried to reach them and none of them respond, right? Go ahead.
Including 1984 and The Handmaid's Tale.
1984. That's George Orwell. George Orwell thought you were the enemy, Raskin. Go ahead.
The nonfiction section. We've even got the right to call the
We even got the right. Well, here's a guy who claims to be literate. We even have the right, but what do I know, right? Go ahead.
For crashing our economy, destroying $6 trillion of wealth and turning my...
You know, it was only about a month ago they were talking about eggs. Remember that in America? Eggs are through the eggs and eggs and eggs. Now it's the stock market. The stock market will come back. It always does. And when it comes back, they'll move on to eggs again or something. Whatever they can find. They can't talk about the cost of abortions because abortions are mostly free in this country, so they won't get into that. Go ahead.
Into a 201k.
Oh, wait a minute. He has a comedy writer, so your 401k is turned into a 201k. Go ahead.
And the press has the right to call the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of Mexico.
There you go. Very compelling, very articulate. Don't you find him to be charismatic, American? I'll be right back.
Mark Levin.
KSVP AM 990 and 93.7 FM.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems. Listen carefully. If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, U.S. Tax Shield can help you take back control. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Our team of tax attorneys can stop collections and get you protected. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the BBB, so call 800-466-9625. U.S. Tax Shield, 800-466-9625.
The IRS, the world's most aggressive collection agency. They can seize your property, bank account, and garnish your wages. They cause sleepless nights for millions of Americans. Don't be one of them. If you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS or state, get protected today. Call 800-242-3186. Coast One Tax Group, protecting your bank, home, and your sleep since 2008. With hundreds of 5-star reviews and an A+ on the Better Business Bureau. Call Coast One Tax Group, 800-242-3186. Stanley from New York owed $93,000. The IRS placed a levy on his bank account. Coast One released the levy and settled with the IRS for $2,000. Mark in Michigan owed $225,000. After Coast One stepped in, Mark walked away paying less than $1,500. Call Coast One now. A 10-minute call can save you up to 93% on your back taxes. Get your fresh start today. That's 800-242-3186.
Sponsored by Coast One Financial Group.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control of your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problem now by calling the experts at U.S. Tax Shield and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, so call now. 800-785-9132. That's 800-785-9132. U.S. Tax Shield. 800-785-9132.
You know, I'm tired of scrolling through shows on TV and finding nothing but the same mind-numbing content. Don't waste the precious little time you have with that nonsense when you could be learning something new, inspiring, exciting. Hillsdale College is offering more than 40 free online courses. Learn about the works of the great C.S. Lewis, the stories in the books of Genesis, the meaning of our Constitution, or the history of the ancient Christian church with Hillsdale College's free online courses. I'm personally enjoying the Genesis story. Genesis is a book of fundamental importance for the Jewish and Christian faiths and has exerted a profound influence on Western civilization. Sign up for the Genesis story and all the other stories now for free. Learn some of the work's major narrative themes. Go right now to levinforhillsdale.com to enroll. That's LEVIN for Hillsdale.com. There's no cost. It's easy to get started. That's levinforhillsdale.com to register. LEVIN for Hillsdale.com.
Now, so he can educate you, whether you like it or not. Mark Levin is on the radio.
KSVP AM 990 and 93.7 FM.
We back? I think Mr. Producer fell asleep. Oh. Hit it! Ready, everyone? Just get to the chorus. We love this song. No idea what it's called, but it doesn't matter. Here we go. Isn't the big basketball game on tonight, Mr. Producer? What time is that on? Now? No, I won't say it. All right. I love this song, but you better phase it out. They might write for congressman and get ticked off at me. April 15th deadline is exactly 8 days away. Do you have unfiled tax returns? Maybe you don't have the money to pay the IRS. The IRS is more aggressive than ever. And the longer you wait, the worse it gets. That I know. Not personally, I'm just saying. Wage garnishments, bank levies, property seizures are all on the table. And they do this when you're not even looking. That's my point. You need to get ahead of this. But going up against the IRS alone is a huge mistake. So take my advice. Call the experts at Tax Network USA. I know there are other hosts out there. There's actors out there hawking this group, that. I've dealt with a lot of these groups. I'm telling you, Tax Network is the best. The best. They know the system. They have an edge, a preferred direct line to the IRS. They know which agents to deal with and which ones to avoid like the plague. Whether you owe $10,000 or $10 million, their genius strategies are designed to quickly settle your tax problems in your favor. Tax Network USA's attorneys and negotiators have already resolved over $1 billion in tax debt. Nobody does that. Tax Network USA can help you too, but you need to move fast. 8 days away. It's almost here, April 15th. Talk with one of their strategists immediately. You can talk to them today with no obligation. Stop looking over your shoulder, stressing every minute of the day. If you're married, it's affecting your marriage. I know. Call Tax Network USA. 1-800-958-1000. Hello. They don't have your number, so you have to call them. 1-800-958-1000. 1-800-958-1000. Or visit tnusa.com/Levin. TN for Tax Network. tnusa.com/LEVIN. Let us go to the call, shall we? Yes, we can. And so I will. Charles, Jacksonville, Florida, on the Mark Levin app. Charles, how are you?
I'm great. How are you, Mark?
Very well, thank you, friend.
All right, I have real quick for you because I know your time's limited. All right, on the
Mo,
subject
to quote Mo of the Three Stooges, take your time, but hurry up.
On the subject of Iran, these are all acronyms for you, okay, including your name coming up. And Iran is insane radicals attacking nations.
That's a good one.
And that's what the letters spell out. Now, Mark Levin is mentoring, ardently, reporting knowledgeably, legally exposing vast, insidious narcissism.
What? You're good, man.
Okay, well, you're going to love this. And D. Donald J. Trump.
Yeah.
D. Donald J. Trump is tough, hard ethics defending our nation.
I love it.
Against lunatics dissenting, justified, terminating radical, unholy, monstrous predators.
Holy mackerel. Very, very good. Mr. Producer, I just did that.
Elon R. Musk.
Mr. Producer's asleep at the switch here. It's okay, Rich. You're doing fine. All right. Charles, good call, baby. I got to move. Thank you. I'm afraid Charles is going to go through every name in the phone book, but he's good. Come on now, he's good. Let's continue, shall we? George, Naperville, Illinois, the Mark Levin app. George, go right ahead, please.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you for your service. You and Bongino, you guys are priceless. I think Rush knew. So anyway, I know your time's limited. I'm calling. I was in commercial real estate for 20 years. I lived in Naperville, Illinois, but I was in Dallas 15 years. I leased Presbyterian Hospital Plano and another medical facility out there. But anyway, I lived in the Village, which you might want to look this up with your background. Mm-hmm. Lincoln Property Company is the big gorilla landlord down there. They marketed the Village as a young singles professional thing. And
wait a minute, the Village being this place that we're talking about, this epic center,
Lovers and Greenville Avenue in Dallas. It's one of the largest apartment communities in the country.
All right, go.
And anyway, I think there was a big lawsuit. Lincoln might have even been involved with it. Lincoln. Property company.
Oh, you're calling me to tell you somebody might have been involved in it? I can't go based on that. Sorry, Lincoln. I had no idea whether you're involved or not. I don't know where we were headed with that. But here we be, and now we go. We salute our armed forces, police officers, firefighters, emergency personnel, our truckers, the men and women in Ukraine, the men and women in Israel. We have your backs. And you, the American people, God bless you. And guess what? I'll see you right here tomorrow. Now go watch the basketball game. Take care.
This is the KSVP Community Calendar, a look at things to do in Artesia, Eddy County, and the Pecos Valley. The Artesia Educational Retirees will hold their next monthly meeting on Friday, April 11th, 11:30 a.m. at the Artesia Public Schools Administration Boardroom. It is a lunch meeting with a program and a short business meeting. All APS retirees are invited to attend. Join us and visit with your educational friends and colleagues.
Southeast New Mexico College invites you to join them for Taste of Culture, an exotic experience of foods from Carlsbad's cultural communities, on Thursday, April 10th from 5 till 7 p.m. at Southeast New Mexico College, 1500 University Drive in Carlsbad. For more information, call 575-234-9330. Our Lady of Grace Church in Artesia is frying again on Friday, April 11th. They are serving fish, hush puppies, fries, coleslaw, and a dessert, all for $12 a plate. The fish fry starts at 11 a.m. until they run out. Dine in or carry out. And thanks to all who came to their first fish fry in March.
To have your event listed on the KSVP Community Calendar, email calendar@ksvpradio.com. Please let us know at least 1 week in advance.
This is KSVP and K229AS Artesia.
A legislative wrap-up luncheon is Wednesday, April 9th at 12 noon at the Artesia Country Club Small Banquet Room. Doors open at 11:45 a.m. Join us for lunch and a post-session recap featuring updates from our local legislators. $15 at the door, lunch included. RSVP to 575-746-2744. Southeast New Mexico College invites you to join them for Taste of Culture, an exotic experience of foods from Carlsbad's cultural communities, on Thursday, April 10th from 5 till 7 p.m. at Southeast New Mexico College, 1500 University Drive in Carlsbad. For more information, call 575-234-9330.
To have your event listed on the KSVP Community Calendar, email calendar@ksvpradio.com. Please let us know at least 1 week in advance.
This is KSVP and K229AS Artesia.
I'm Keith Peters in Washington. A Trump deportation deadline has been delayed.
Supreme Court Chief Justice John Roberts paused a deadline for the return of a Maryland man mistakenly deported to El Salvador. A federal judge has ordered the administration to return Kilmar Abrego Garcia. The Justice Department went to the Supreme Court, saying the judge was overstepping her authority. The administration has conceded Abrego Garcia should not have been sent to El Salvador because an immigration judge found he likely would have faced persecution by local gangs, but argued he's no longer in U.S. custody, and the government has no way to get him back. The White House has described Abrego Garcia's deportation as an administrative error, but has said he was an MS-13 gang member. Ed Donahue, Washington.
The Supreme Court is allowing the Trump administration to use an 18th century wartime law to deport Venezuelan migrants, but says they must get a court hearing before they're taken from the U.S. In a 5-4 decision Monday, the court said the administration must give Venezuelans who it claims are gang members reasonable time to go to court. But the conservative majority says the legal challenges must take place in Texas instead of Washington. The United States is holding direct talks with Iran about its nuclear program.
Insisting that Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon, the president said the U.S. is pursuing a diplomatic settlement with Iranian officials.
We're meeting very importantly on Saturday at almost the highest level, and we'll see how it works out.
During a meeting with the visiting Israeli prime minister, the president also warned that Iran would be in great danger if talks are unsuccessful. Greg Clugston, Washington.
On Wall Street, the Dow down by 349 points, the Nasdaq rose 15, the S&P down 11. More at townhall.com.
It's official. Newsmax has become a news giant. It's even listed on the New York Stock Exchange. Over 40 million Americans regularly turn to Newsmax for the news they need to know. They're tuning into the Newsmax channel on all major cable systems. They watch Newsmax 2 on all streaming platforms. They go online to Newsmax.com for breaking headlines. Millions more have downloaded the free Newsmax app on their smartphone and home TV. Reuters says Newsmax is one of the top news brands in America. Even President Trump says Newsmax is terrific, and he's watching. Tens of millions of Americans like you have made the switch to Newsmax for the news they can trust. So make the switch today. You won't ever look back.
This spring home buying season looks to be more favorable for home shoppers than it's been in recent years.
The inventory of homes for sale nationally remains low by historical standards, but has risen sharply compared to this time last year. Home prices are rising more slowly. Mortgage rates remain elevated, but have been easing and are slightly below year-ago levels. Property listings in many metros are priced lower than a year ago. The trend should give home buyers more leverage, but are unlikely to be a game changer for many aspiring homeowners that were priced out after years of soaring home prices. John Scott reporting.
Jay North, who starred as the tow-headed mischief maker on TV's Dennis the Menace for 4 seasons starting in 1959, has died. He was 73. North.
Welcome to Bulldog Baseball on AM 990 and 93.7 FM KSVP and online at ksvptv.com.
Oh, and that ball hit sharply to left field. Left fielder does a good job getting over, cutting that off. He'll hold that to a single there.
Baseball and softball action on KSVP AM and FM and at ksvptv.com is presented by Avo Empire, Amigo Machinery, Artesia Animal Clinic, Artesia Credit Union, Artesia Ford Sales, Artesia General Hospital, Artesia Historical Museum, Artesia Plumbing and Heating, Big O Tires of Carlsbad, Bob Reed Pest Control, Kane Electric Supply, Carlsbad Ford, City of Artesia Police Department, Central Valley Electric Cooperative, Needs Incorporated, Devon Energy, Eddy County DWI, Edge Safety, Eastern New Mexico University Portales, and ENMU Roswell, Faith Baptist Church, Fenn's Country Market, Forest Tire of Artesia and Carlsbad, Guy Chevrolet, H&R Block of Artesia, Hermosa Church of Christ, Hawker & Son, Incredible Printing, J&J Home Care, JS Ward, KC Light Tower, KFC, La Fonda, Lois Oliver Real Estate, Los Agaves Restaurant, Mac Energy, Maupin and Brown Dentistry, Nell's Floral, Pecos Valley Equipment, Pressure Services, Smile Expressions, Spur Energy Production, Tate Branch of Artesia, Turpinning & Sons, Trustmark Roofing, Western Bank, and Wilbanks LLC. Now, on to the action.
Reload Camp is back for 2025.
Edge Safety and Services, LLC in Artesia, New Mexico has an immediate opening for roustabout crew and a safety technician. Position requires a clean driving record and must be able to pass a drug and alcohol screening. Edge Safety offers great pay with IRA benefits and employer contribution towards health benefits. Please email resumes to edgecoding@yahoo.com or apply in person at 2801 North Freeman in Artesia. Edge Safety and Services is an equal opportunity employer.
Looking for professional window tinting services? Look no further than Reliable Tint in Artesia. Located at 1502 South 1st Street, they specialize in auto and residential window tinting, as well as glass replacement for windshields, side and rear glass. But that's not all. They now offer advanced technology, rock chip, and crack repair, ensuring your vehicle stays in top shape. Open Monday through Saturday, Reliable Tint is here for all of your tinting and glass needs. Call them today, 575-616-9163. Reliable Tint in Artesia, where quality meets reliability.
Devon Energy is now hiring in the Permian Basin. As one of the country's largest independent producers of oil and natural gas, we have exciting opportunities for people with a variety of skills and experience. We're looking for people in the Artesia community who work with integrity, dedication, and innovation. Seize this opportunity for competitive pay and comprehensive benefits. Start your career with Devon Energy today. Apply at careers.devonenergy.com. Devon Energy. Commitment runs deep. Go Bulldogs.
La Fonda Restaurant in Artesia has always been known for its great atmosphere and even better food. Well, now you can come in and enjoy a delicious meal with a glass of beer or wine. Come see our full beverage menu today. Don't forget about our lunch buffet with lots of sweets, and we cater too. Come see us now for all upcoming parties and events. The Perkins family invites your family to come in and enjoy a meal with us. La Fonda Restaurant, proud supporter of the Artesia Bulldogs.
All right, Bulldog fans, we are back here as they have started game 2 quickly, faster than I thought they were going to after senior night. So number 11 was at the plate was Bianca Villa, and she struck out. The pitcher for the Bulldogs is Caden Apodaca. So down 1 here in the top of the first inning. So at the plate now is number 11, Paris Weldon. She's playing second base for the Carlsbad Cave Girls. First pitch she sees called, strike 1. So 0-1 the count quickly. Oh, and then she's hit by pitch. That's going to hurt. So she'll trot down. So she's down at first base, walking it off. To the plate comes number 2, Katrina Ortega. Next pitch is high and outside for ball 1. And Whitmire, the catcher, goes and gets it quickly. So here we go again. Here's the 1-0. A little bit high and outside, ball 2. And here's the 2-0 pitch, outside and high, ball 3, and it gets out of Jenna's glove. She's going to, well, she got it quickly but did not fire down, so the runner moves down on the dropped pitch. There's a foul ball off and out of play. So again, getting the ball back. Pitch swung on and missed. That is strike 3, which will bring Kayleon Fuentes to the plate. Kayleon steps in, looks at the ball 1 inside, and gets it by Whitmire. So going to third base is the runner. So 2 down here in the top of the first. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss on a good changeup. Down and in for strike 1. 1-1 now the call, 2 down. So Kellyanne steps back in. She's got a ball and a strike. Here's the pitch. Swung on. That's a line drive into left field. Going over and getting it is Brooklyn Thacker, and she'll get it into the shortstop, Brooklyn Fuentes. But that is a 2-out single. And so that's the new lineup for, I've got them both. Thank you. So that's a run batted in, and Carlsbad takes the early lead here. And that'll bring Faith Rivera to the plate, number 12, bats from the left side. Here's the pitch, up a little bit, ball 1. On deck is Michaela Chester, and in the hole, Kendra Ortega for the Cave Girls, if they can continue batting here, and that'll be what they want to do. Here's the wind and the pitch. Called, strike 1, caught the outside corner. So 1-1 now to Rivera. One to 0 Carlsbad. We're in game 2, and now there's just a little sun out in the face of our right fielder. There's a swing and a foul ball over to the dugout on the Carlsbad side for strike 2. So the count now goes to 1-2. We have Thacker, Molina, and Yates from left to right. Rodriguez, Fuentes, Montoya, Molina from third to first, with Whitmire catching Apodaca here in game number 2. Here's the wind and the pitch. Down and away, gets by Whitmire, so ball 2, and running down to second base is Fuentes on the pass ball. So the count now 2-2 with 2 outs. As Rivera steps back in, here's the wind and the pitch. That's going to be outside, ball 3. Full count now. Full count, runner at second. Doesn't have to go, nobody behind her. Here's the wind and the pitch. Got her looking, and that is strike 3 and out number 3. But in the inning, they get 1 hit, 1 run. There were no Bulldog errors, and was 1 Carlsbad Cave Girl left on base. So as we go into the home half of the first inning, it is 1-0 Carlsbad. Coming to the plate for the Bulldogs, Fuentes, Marquez, and Apodaca. We'll be back.
This is the time of year we can get all 4 seasons in just one day. Hi, this is Ben Manette from Roswell Seed Company. 1 minute you're sweating in the sun, and the next minute you've got slush in your shoes. But that's winter in Roswell, and after 127 years, we're starting to get used to it. It's too early to plant very much, but you can fertilize pecan trees, spray for dandelions, order your bees, and pick up a new seed catalog. So come see us at Roswell Seed. Like Jim Gill would say, enjoy the warm days, but don't go far from the fire.
Picture this. You're behind the wheel of a John Deere compact tractor. You're effortlessly breaking ground, moving piles of rocks just by moving a lever, and enjoying the sun as you clear brush across your pasture. We could keep trying to put you in the moment, but to really understand what this feels like, you just have to get in the seat.
Stop by Pecos Valley Equipment in Artesia and Roswell, or visit us online at pecosvalleyequipment.com.
All right, we're back here, and leading off for the Artesia Bulldogs is Brooklyn Fuentes.
Number 5, Brooklyn Fuentes.
As the lights are on here at the stadium, the sun is almost down. The right fielder has a little bit of sun in her face as Fuentes steps in. And the pitch. Called, strike 1. Here's the wind and the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2. So down quickly 0-2 is Brooklyn. She'll step in and shorten up, try to put it through a gap somewhere. As number 4 pitching for the Carlsbad Cave Girls. And there's called, strike 3. So it will be a strikeout looking. It'll be out number 1 on the Lady Bulldogs, which will bring number 17, Kat Marquez, to the plate.
Number 17, Katrine Marquez.
Hernandez, first pitch is a ball. Next pitch coming up, and that's going to be a changeup, hit hard but foul down the left third base line. So the foul ball strike takes the count to 1-1 for Cat. On deck is Caden Apodaca, and in the hole Kinsley Rodriguez for the Bulldogs. Here's the wind and the pitch, down low. Ball 2, 2-1 now the count to Cat. All right, so here comes the 2-1. And the pitch. Swing, and it's a chopper to the second baseman. She'll field it on the second hop. Toss it to first base, and that is out. Number 2. 4-3 on the ground out. And that'll bring the number 3 hitter in the lineup to the Bulldogs plate. Number 24, Caden Apodaca. Caden will step in here. 2 down, nobody on. Here's the wind and the pitch. Called, strike 1. So Fuentes, Villa, and Madrid from left to right. Chester, Ortega, Weldon, and Rivera from third to first. Ortega catching Hernandez. There's your Carlsbad defense here in the bottom of the first. And the pitch. Swing and a foul tip for strike. Actually, she may not have touched that, but big swing. The catcher had to go off her glove. I thought it was a foul tip, but umpire didn't indicate it, so it must not have been. 0-2 now the count to Apodaca. She steps back in, and the pitch. High, ball 1, 1-2 now the count. 2 down. On deck for the Bulldogs, Kinsley Rodriguez, and in the hole, Jenna Whitmire. Caden steps back in, ready to go. And the pitch, down low, ball 2. 2-2 now the count. So Hernandez looks at her wristband, and now bringing the pitch, 2-2. Change up, got her swinging, and that is out, number 3. So the Bulldogs go down in order. 1, 2, 3, no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base as we head into the top of the second inning. We'll be right back.
Don't quit. Don't ever give up. Be tenacious. Almost everything that's done in the world is accomplished by tired people who refuse to give up. Keep moving. Keep showing up. Keep doing your job. Remember, God will tell you when you're done. But until then, persevere with determination and faith. That's a quote by a good friend of mine by the name of Paul Shiro. And I like it because it is so similar to what the writer of Hebrews is trying to tell us in Hebrews chapter 12 in verse 3, consider him who endured from sinners such hostility against himself, so that you may not grow weary or faint-hearted. Don't grow weary. Instead, just go out and do your best. Do your best every day. That is what God is asking us to do. God is begging us, say, I want your very best on days that you want to give it and on days that you don't. Is that your philosophy of life? Is that how you're living life, that I'm going to do my best every day? If it isn't, and you want to change, come visit us at the Hermosa Church of Christ.
All right, welcome back here, Bulldog fans. We've got a change in the circle for the Artesia Bulldogs. Is number 13, Cambry Collins. So Apodaca was the starting pitcher, but now she is not on the field. So I don't know if she injured something or just going to make a change. But in any case, it is Cambry Collins. And at the plate, Michaela Chester, number 6 for the Carlsbad Cave Girls. 1-0 Carlsbad here in the top of the second, the first batter. Collins ready to go. Here's the wind and the pitch. Swing and a miss on a good fastball. Got her to chase it outside. 0-1 the count. So Chester steps back in. Ortega on deck and Madrid in the hole for the Cave Girls as Collins gets ready to go. Here's the wind and the pitch. Swing, it's a chopper. Oh, it's fair. Great play over there and a good stretch on the other end. So Rodriguez to Molina. And the Bulldogs get that play down. And actually, who is over there? Number 17. So there was another change that I missed. So at first base is actually Cat Marquez. Okay. One down. Here's the pitch. Strike one called. Gets through the glove of Whitmire. So she gathers it up and gets it back out to the pitcher. One down. Ortega steps in with strike one. And the pitch. That's inside for ball one. 1-1 now the count. With one out. The wind and the pitch. Again, down and in, and she goes. He said she did. So, called for the check swing. Unable to check her swing, so strike two. 1-2 now the count with one out. As Collins gets ready to go. Here's the wind and the pitch. Right back up the middle. Good job by Collins. She catches it on the bounce and goes to first base, and that is out. Number 2 on the ground out. 1-3 the put out. So that'll bring number 9, Allie Madrid, to the plate for the Cave Girls. As she's talking to Ortega real quick. All right, Collins ready to go. First pitch called, strike one. So the defense for the Bulldogs, Thacker, Molina, and Yates, left to right. Rodriguez, Fuentes, Montoya, and Marcus, third to first, with Collins and Whitmire, the battery mates. Collins in the circle. The pitch, swing and a foul off to the backside for strike two. So down quickly is Madrid 0-2 to Cambry Collins. She steps back in on the right side, ready to go. Collins back onto the pitcher's plate. Here's the wind and the pitch. Got away from her, ball one. 1-2 now the count. I don't know if that was meant to be a changeup, but kind of floated it up there high. So 1-2 now the count. 2 outs. We're in the top of the second. Carlsbad leads the Bulldogs here early in game number 2, 1-0. Here's the pitch, fouled to the right side. So the count remains 1-2. Good fastball there from Collins. So they gather it up. Everybody will reset. Defense playing pretty much straight away. Shallow out in center. Shallower in center and left. In right than in left. Here's the pitch. Down, too low, ball 2. So 2-2 now the count with 2 outs. We got the triple deuces up there once again. As Collins ready to go. Whitmire gives her sign. And the 2-2. Just a little bit too low. Full count. So full count on the batter with 2 outs. As Madrid gets ready to step back in. On deck is Hernandez, and then back to the top of the order. Villa in the hole if Carlsbad can keep it going. That pitch is down and in, so that's ball 4. Which will bring us to number 4, Aubrey Hernandez, the pitcher, batting in the 9 hole. She steps in to face Collins for the first time. Here's the pitch. High and away, straight steal, throw down, in time. Did she get her? She did not. So the throw was right on, but a little bit late there was Fuentes and unable to get the tag down. So the stolen base on a great throw down. Here's the pitch. That's strike called on the outside corner. Collins ready to go. 2 down, runner at second base. Whitmire setting up on the outer third. There's the pitch, and that's called strike 2. So 1-2 now the count. With Madrid standing at second base in scoring position for the Cave Girls. They already have 1 on the board. They got that in the top of the first. Here's a swing, a drive down the right side, but that'll get into the bullpen of the Bulldogs for a foul ball strike. The count remains 1-2 with 2 outs. Collins ready to go, and the wind and the pitch. And that's just a bit high with her changeup. Ball 2, so 2-2 now the count with 2 outs. So Hernandez steps back in with a 2-2 count. And the wind and the pitch. Way outside and high for ball 3. So that moves the runner down on the wild pitch to third base with a full count. Collins ready to go. Hernandez at the plate. Full count. Way outside and high, and he gets through the glove of Whitmire, and that's going to score a run again on the pass ball. So ball 4 moves the runner to first, and coming in on the pass ball was the go-ahead, or another run, and which will bring Bianca Villa, the top of the order, bats from the left side. She's 0 for 1. She struck out swinging her first time through as she steps in on the left side to face Collins for the first time. Apodaca pitched the first inning. Collins here in the second. Here's the wind and the pitch. A little bit in, a little bit high. Ball 1. 1-0 now to Villa. On deck is Weldon, and in the hole Ortega for the Cave Girls, as they've got 2 runs aboard now. 1 in the top of the first and then 1 here in the second. That pitch is high as well, so ball 2. 2-0 now to Villa. So Collins gets back onto the plate, ready to go. And the pitch swung on, line drive in the 6 hole. That'll be a base hit, and it gets through Thacker. That's an error on the left fielder. A run will score going into third base safely, and then it gets by everybody. It'll go all the way to the backstop, but staying there will be Villa. So she gets a single, but then moves over on the error on the left fielder. As the next batter coming to the plate with a runner at third base and a 3-0 now lead. Villa stands at third base after hitting the single, but moving to third on the error. Here's the pitch. Called strike 1 on a good curveball. Paris Weldon at the plate, number 11. She is the second baseman, her second time through. First time to see Collins. That pitch outside, and it gets through the glove of Whitmire. So Jenna's glove, I don't know if it's her glove or what. She's had several balls get through her glove. So maybe they'll look at that when they go into the dugout, if it's a glove or what's going on with it. 1-1 the count, 2 down, as Collins gets ready to go. And the pitch, that's going to miss. Oh, he called it a strike, caught the outside corner. So called strike 2, 1-2 now the count. Weldon steps back in, Collins ready to go. Here's the wind and the pitch. Swung on, pop fly to the left side. Gets over to the fence. Everybody was giving chase. Fuentes, Rodriguez, and Thacker, but couldn't quite get there. Foul ball strike, and the count remains 1-2. So everybody will reposition, get back in their spots. And here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss, she got her. I don't know why she's running. All right, so that is strike 3. And the Bulldogs give up a couple of runs off of one hit, but had that one error, and there was one runner left on base. So as we go into the bottom half of the second inning, it's 3-0 Carlsbad.
Hey y'all, it's Holly with Nels Floral. Here to remind you it's almost time to honor that special woman in your life, the one and only Mom. Mother's Day is May 11th, and Nels Floral will have a variety of beautiful, unique spring flowers to show Mom how much you care. We will also be open an extra day on Saturday, May 10th. Come see us at Nels Floral, 712 West Dallas Avenue, online at nelsfloral.com, or call 575-746-3775. Love you, Mom.
Attention sports fans. Come explore Carlsbad Ford's huge inventory. From sleek sedans to rugged trucks, Carlsbad Ford has a huge variety of vehicles to fit your lifestyle. The best cars, the best trucks. Come find out why Carlsbad Ford is the best in southeastern New Mexico. Oh, yeah! At Carlsbad Ford Lincoln, their team is dedicated to helping you find the perfect vehicle with the best offers available. Carlsbad Ford, 2802 West Pierce, a proud supporter of high school sports.
Welcome back here, Bulldog fans. KSVP Radio and KSVPTV.com. As Kinsley Rodriguez will step in, the number 4 here in the lineup. Where's number 7 on her orange jersey? Playing third base. First pitch, she hits it hard, and it's going to be a ground ball through the 6-hole for a leadoff single for Kinsley. First pitch she sees, gets the base hit. And that'll bring to the plate number 14, Jenna Whitmire. Jenna playing catcher here in this ball game. Wearing number 14 on her jersey. Kinsley down at first. Whitmire steps in. Here's the wind and the pitch from Hernandez. High, ball 1. Fuentes, Villa, and Madrid from third, from left to right. Chester, Ortega, Weldon, and Rivera third to first, with Ortega catching Hernandez. There's your Carlsbad defense. Jenna squares the bunt. She pulls the bat back, and that's ball number 2 as Rodriguez hustles back into first base. All right, here's the wind and the pitch. Swing and a miss. Boy, Jenna took a good cut at that one, just come up empty. So 2-1 now the count. Hernandez, the pitcher, ready to go. Here's the 2-1. She does squirt a bunt. She gets it down. Going to turn and throw it to first base to the second baseman who was covering. So Jenna gets a sacrifice bunt. Moves the runner over. Good play by the pitcher. She got to it quickly. So now standing at second is Kinsley Rodriguez, and at the plate for the Bulldogs is number 12, Tessa Yates. Here's the wind and the pitch. Up high, ball 1. So Tessa will step back in with a runner in scoring position with 1 out here in the bottom of the second inning. And the wind and the pitch. High and away, ball 2 to Yates. On deck is Janae Molina, and in the hole, Brooklyn Thacker for the Bulldogs. Hernandez ready to go back to work. 2-0 the count and the pitch. Down the middle, called, strike 1. So 2-1 now to Tessa. Here's the wind and the pitch from Hernandez. Swing and a foul ball off to the right side and out of play. So the foul ball strike takes it to 2-2 on Tessa. On deck is the center fielder, Molina, and in the hole, the left fielder, Thacker. As the Bulldogs look to get some runs back here, down 3-0. Here's the pitch. Called strike 3, caught the outside corner. That is out number 2, which will bring Janae Molina to the plate.
Now coming up to the plate, the center fielder, Janae Molina.
All right, Molina steps in on the right side. Hernandez ready to go. And the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Back she goes in on the right side, ready to go. Hernandez with the wind and the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2. So kind of takes 2 of them down and away. She'll have to shorten up here and try to drive one through and get that run across. On deck is Thacker in the hole, Molina, and then we're back to the top of the order. Here's the 0-2. Good job by the catcher, Ortega, blocking that one. Ball 1. 1-2 now the count. That skipped up there in the turf. So Molina back in. Here's the wind in the pitch from Aubrey Hernandez. And she got her swing in. That is strike 3 for the Bulldogs here in the bottom of the second inning. They do get a hit, but no runs. There were no errors on Carlsbad, and the Bulldogs leave 1 runner on base. So after 2 full, it is 3-0 Carlsbad.
When was the last time a bank asked you if you'd like to keep more of your money? At Artesia Credit Union, you pay yourself by avoiding big bank fees and all the corporate investors that go along with them. Let Artesia Credit Union help you achieve financial happiness. From home and auto loans to a working line of credit or sending your kids to college, membership is open to anyone who calls New Mexico home. Stop by the branch on 5th Street or log on to artesiacu.org. Artesia Credit Union, member NCUA, an equal housing lender.
Mustang lovers, mark your calendars. Thursday, April 17th is National Mustang Day, and Artesia Ford Sales is the place to be. Bring your Mustang, classic or modern, and show it off alongside fellow enthusiasts. Join us for a day of horsepower, history, and fun at Artesia Ford. Snap photos, swap stories, and celebrate the legend of the Mustang with us. Cruise in, show off, and let's make Mustang Day unforgettable. Artesia Ford Sales, where the Mustang spirit lives on.
All right, we're back here at the MAC, home of the Lady Bulldogs, as they're taking on Carlsbad here in game number 2. The Cave Girls, I should say, lead 3-0 after 2 full. They got 1 in the top of the first, 2 more in the top of the second, and now here in the top of the third, leading off, will be their shortstop, number 2, Katrina Ortega. She steps in to face Collins. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Good pitch. Running away from her. Strike 1. Thacker, Molina, and Yates left to right. Rodriguez, Fuentes, Montoya, Marquez from third to first. Whitmire catching Collins, and there is your Bulldog defense. Here's the pitch. Call strike 2. That one must have just caught the front tip of the plate because it was really running outside. 0-2 the count. Ortega steps back in. Whitmire setting up outside. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to shortstop. Fuentes picks it up, throws it to first base, and that is out. Number 1 here in the top of the third inning on the routine ground out. 6-3 if you're scoring at home. So that'll bring to the plate Kayleon Fuentes, number 20. She's playing out in left field this game for the Cave Girls. She was the winning pitcher in game 1, won a complete game, and Cave Girls won 10-1 in case you missed it. Here's the pitch. Run away for ball 1, way outside. On deck is the first baseman, number 12, Faith Rivera, and in the hole, third baseman, number 6, Michaela Chester for the Cave Girls. Here's the pitch. Swung on, fouled off to the right side, and out of play. 4 foul ball, strike 1. 1-1 now the count. So Fuentes will step back in with that 1-1 count. Collins ready to go. Good. Change up. Strike 2 called. So 1-2 now to Fuentes. As Collins looks into her battery mate Whitmire. And the pitch. Swung on, foul back and out of play, so the count will remain 1-2 with 1 out. If you're watching on the radio and you missed the first game, Bulldogs wearing solid orange and Carlsbad wearing solid blue, both with white numbers and lettering. Here's the 1-2, down and in, ball 2, 2-2. Now the count to Fuentes. We're here in the top of the third inning. 1 out, 2-2 the count at the plate as Fuentes steps back in. Cambry Collins in the circle. Here's the pitch, swinging a foul ball into the net on the right side. So just the count remains 2-2 on the foul ball. Fuentes steps back in. Collins looks into Whitmire. She's going to set up on the inside, does Whitmire. Here's the pitch. That's where she went. Oh, just missed. Good pitch. That takes the count full to Fuentes. 3-2 the count. She steps back in. Here's the wind and the pitch. Swinging a foul ball back, so the count remains full. Jen has gathered it up and got it back out to Cambry. Full count once again as Collins gets ready to bring it. And the pitch way outside, so the ball 4 takes Fuentes down to first base with 1 out. And coming to the plate will be, well, what just happened? I guess it wasn't ball 4. He said full count, and then, well, I'm not sure what happened. Fuentes back at the plate. And the pitch. Little slow roller on a great changeup or curveball for a foul ball strike. So Fuentes steps back in. Here's the wind and the pitch. Down and in, and now we got ball 4. So that'll bring Faith Rivera to the plate, the left-hander, to face Collins. 1 out. We're in the top of the third. 3-0 Carlsbad. So Rivera, who is 0 for 1, she struck out looking her first time through, steps in. Here's the wind and the pitch. Outside, ball 1. On deck is Chester, and in the hole Ortega for the Cave Girls. The wind in the pitch. High for ball 2. So the count now goes 2-0 to Rivera. As Collins ready to go, and the pitch. Rolls it up there for ball 3. Throw down, not in time. So 3-0 now the count to Rivera. As Collins looks into Whitmire, gets her pitch, and here's the 3-0. And that misses outside, and that's ball 4. So back-to-back walks with 1 out. And that'll bring to the plate Michaela Chester, number 6. For the Cave Girls. She is 0 for 1. She grounded out to Kinsley Rodriguez at third base her first time through. Collins ready to go. And the pitch, swing and a miss on a great fastball running away from the batter at the plate. So 0-1 the count. Collins taking a long look in. Whitmire giving her a signal. And the pitch. Same pitch, but this time she didn't offer, so it goes to 1-1 on Chester. On deck is Kendra Ortega, the catcher, and the right fielder, Ali Madrid, is in the hole for Carlsbad. 1 out here, top of the 3rd inning. 3-0 Carlsbad. That pitch down and in for ball 2. So 2-1 the count. Walked the last 2 batters. So Collins looking to get a double play somewhere here to be the best thing with 1 out. Here's the pitch. Swung on, pop fly to the left side. That'll be foul, and it will fall as Rodriguez, Fuentes, and Thacker all running after it, but kind of fell out there in that triangle. Count remains, or now goes to 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Runners at first and second base. And Collins looking in. Whitmire setting up on that inner third. Here's the pitch, swung on. Little bloop fly in the infield. Gonna throw it to first base. Not in time. So an infield little bloop. And that loads them up. Infield base hit. Just had a lot of English kind of spun away from the pitcher, Collins, and she got it and fired at the first base, but everything was kind of moving in slow motion there, and so except for the runner, Chester, she fired down the line and was there by a long shot. Bases loaded. First ball to Ortega is low for ball 1. So 1-0 the count. Ortega steps back in. She's 0 for 1. She grounded out her first time through. Here's the pitch. Oh, and that's inside for ball 2. That almost hit her really low, and she skipped out of the way of it. So 0-2 the count. Good job there by Jenna Whitmire as she knocked the ball down and kept it in front, kept the runners where they're at. With the bases loaded, Collins looking in, and the pitch. Swung on. It's going to be a foul ball on the left side. And Rodriguez was starting to go to first base, and she would want to go home right there, so maybe she'll thought about that, get the home to first double play on a ground ball like that. They're playing in, so you definitely want to come home. Defense playing in. Here's the pitch. Inside once again for ball 3. 3-1 now to Ortega. Madrid on deck. Hernandez in the hole for Carlsbad. And, of course, the Bulldogs, they want to get a double play and get out of this inning. They got the bases loaded to do the Cave Girls, and they lead 3-0. They're wanting to really pile some runs on here. There's a swing. It is a ground ball in the infield. She does go home. And then to first, not in time, but a good effort there on the double play. But out at home on the fielder's choice. So the Bulldogs go 5-2 and get the runner out at home plate. Everybody else safe. And that'll bring Ali Madrid to the plate. She walked her first time, and she looks at called strike 1 on the inside corner. Bases stay loaded, but the Bulldogs do cut the runner down at the plate. So 2 outs now. No runs have scored again yet, and hopefully none will for the Bulldogs. As Carlsbad trying to get a bunch of runs. Artesia trying to not let them get any. That ball's inside. Throw down to third base, not in time. So ball 1, 1-1 now the count to Madrid. Hernandez, the number 9 hitter, on deck, and then we're back to the top of the order for the Cave Girls as Villa is in the hole if they can keep this inning going. And that's their goal, leading 3-0 here in the top of the third. But the base is loaded with 2 outs. And the pitch swung on. That's going to be dropped by the second baseman, but she picks it up. Oh, and then it's an error on the throw. 1 run will score, 2 runs will score. And so the error on the dropped ball by the second baseman. So coming home, and then on the throw, and the catch not being made by the first baseman. So runners at second and third now, and here's the pitch, called strike 1 to the batter Aubrey Hernandez, the pitcher. She's 0 for 0. She walked her first time through. So 2-run score on the errors on the Bulldogs infield. They're going to continue to play in with runners at second and third. Well, the shortstop's not in, but everybody else is. That pitch is too far inside, 1-1. Now the count to Hernandez. On deck is Villa, the top of the order, and then Weldon is in the hole. 5-0, Carlsbad with 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Too far inside. It gets through Jenna's glove, and that will score another run on the pass ball. Hit it right in the glove, but it just scored it through, and that's been kind of been happening here in the ball game. So Ortega comes in on the pass ball, and moving over to third base on the same pass ball was Madrid. So the score now 6-0. Here's the pitch, and it hits her. So hit by pitch will put the runner down at first, and I'll have runners on the corners. So she's going to hit her on the foot or the ankle, somewhere down low. That hurts. So coming to the plate will be number 17, the center fielder, Bianca Villa. She's got runners on the corners as Whitmire goes out to talk to Collins. What? Sorry? So still having a visit in the circle. Now the umpire going to start walking that way, but Whitmire's coming back. So Hernandez over at first, Madrid at third, and the score now 6-0 in favor of the Cave Girls off of 3 hits. But 3 errors now on the Bulldogs, 2 in this inning, have really hampered the Bulldogs' effort defensively. Villa steps in, left side, runners on the corners. Here's the pitch from Collins. High, tight, ball 1. It's 6-0, a run scored. A run scored. All right, so Villa steps back in. 1-0 the count with 2 outs. And the pitch. That's going to be called a strike. Good pitch there by Collins. 1-1 now the count. As Villa steps back in, ready to go. Collins ready, and the pitch. Swing and a miss. Good off-speed pitch. That's strike 2. So 1-2 now the count with 2 outs. Villa is 1 for 2. She struck out swinging her first time through, but then hit a single her last time through. So she's, of course, wanting to hit another ball somewhere where they aren't. The Bulldogs wanted to get this third out after giving up 3 innings, 3 runs so far in the inning. Here's the pitch. Called strike 3. Caught the outside corner. And that will end the inning. But, boy, some damage done as the Bulldogs give up 3 runs off of only 1 hit. There were 2 Bulldog errors and 2 runners left on base. Our score 6-0 after 2.5. The home half coming up with Thacker, Molina, and Fuentes coming to the plate.
Mac Energy Company is working to develop today's energy with tomorrow's technology. Technological advances in recent years have presented new possibilities for exploration. We strive to utilize these advances and stay abreast of innovative technology to ensure that our company is a forerunner in the quest for energy for many years to come. But more importantly, Mac Energy Corporation is committed to being an advocate of the communities around us. We invest in community initiatives that focus on youth, education, and innovative projects that address local issues. To learn more about Mac Energy, our affiliates, and our commitment to our youth and communities, visit us at mec.com.
Home health care is health care in the comfort of your own home when you cannot care for yourself. Home care services can help someone who has chronic health issues, medical setbacks, or health impairments. J&J has the best skilled nurses and therapists for any of your special needs. So why pick a stranger to care for those you love when you can pick your beloved neighbor with over 25 years of experience? J&J Home Care is here for all your home care needs. Call us now at 575-746-2892 or visit us at jjhc.org.
All right, welcome back, Bulldog Man. We've got a pinch hitter here, it looks like. Has number 4 coming into bat, Jade Hammond. She'll step in and face Hernandez. There's the first pitch, just a bit high, ball 1. On deck is the DH, Charisma Molina, number 23, and then we're back to the top of the order, number 5, Brooklyn Fuentes. In the hole, here's the pitch, right down the middle, called strike one. So 1-1 the count. We're in the bottom of the third, fans. If you're just now joining us here in game number 2, it's 6-0 Carlsbad. They got 1 in the first, 2 in the second, and 3 in the third, matching those. And there's a ground ball to shortstop, bobbled it just a minute, but throws it across in time. Ortega over to Rivera on a nice recovery. 6-3 the put out. Yeah, she backstabbed it. Ball fell out of her glove, but then she picks it up and fires it to first base. So that'll bring Charisma Molina to the plate, number 23, her first time through. She'll step in on the right side. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be called strike one on the outside corner. All right, here's the wind in the 0-1. Swing and a miss. Come up empty on a good change up there. So the count now goes 0-2 on the batter. 1 out as Molina will step back in. On deck is Fuentes, and in the hole Marcus for the Bulldogs. Back to the top of the order. That pitch too high, ball 1. 1-2 now to Charisma Molina. She's DPing. I said DH, but that's baseball. DPing, designated player. 1 out, 1-2 the count. Here's the wind in the pitch from Aubrey Hernandez. Down low, ball 2. 2-2. Now to Charisma. Again, Hernandez looked in at her wrist, and now she's ready to go. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Come up empty, and that is strike 3. And out, number 2. Which will bring us back to the top of the order, number 5, Brooklyn Fuentes.
Shortstop, number 5, Brooklyn Fuentes.
Brooklyn 0 for 1. She struck out looking her first time through, so she'll try to get a hit here. That ball is too far outside and too high. Ball 1. Fuentes, Villa, and Madrid from left to right. Chester, Ortega, Weldon, and Rivera from third to first. Kendra Ortega catching Aubrey Hernandez. Here's the pitch. That's your Carlsbad defense. That's called strike 1. So 1-1 the count now to Brooklyn as she steps back in on the right side. And the pitch, swing and a miss. Big cut, but come up empty did Brooklyn. So the count now goes to 1-2. 2 down here in the bottom of the third inning. 6-0 Carlsbad. And the wind in the pitch from Hernandez. That's going to be just low. Ball 2. 2-2. Now the count. Fuentes steps back in. 2-2 the count. And the pitch from Hernandez. A little bit high. So a full count now for Brooklyn. She's ready. Hernandez with the wind and the full count. That's going to be called strike 3. Good fastball. Caught the inside half. So the Bulldogs in the inning go down in order. No hits, no runs, no errors, and nobody left on base as we go into the top of the fourth inning with the Carlsbad Care Girls 6 and the Artesia Bulldogs 0. We'll be right back.
Incredible in Artesia is open for business, ready to give you the hometown quality and customer service you know and love. Georgia and her team specialize in in-house design for quality custom business cards at a competitive price. From scanning to desktop publishing, if you need it, they can do it. On Main Street across from the Derek Floor statue in downtown Artesia. For all your printing needs, think Incredible.
Family owned and operated for 4 generations, Forest Tire is here to service all your tire needs day and night. With your busy travel schedule, what you need is a tire that can keep up. Like the exceptionally long-lasting Michelin Defender tire with an 80,000-mile warranty and the safety you expect. You can lose track of time and focus on what really matters. For all your tire needs, brakes and alignments too, Forest Tire Company is a friend you can always count on. Forest Tire, keeping you rolling since 1944.
All right, we're getting ready to start the top of the 4th inning. First pitch is low and away for ball 1. And again, it gets through Jenna's glove, so just curious about that. She's had several kind of leak through or pop out. I don't know if it's a new glove or just something going on with it. At the plate is Paris Weldon. She's 0 for 1. She's hit by a pitch, and she also foul tipped into the glove. And that's a bounce down the third baseline, but foul, as Rodriguez fields it, but foul ball. So 1-1 now the count. On deck is number 2, Katrina Ortega, and in the hole, number 20, Kelion Fuentes for the Cave Girls. Here's the pitch. Inside. Oh, it hit her. So she will be hit by a pitch and take first base, which will bring Katrina Ortega to the plate. She's over 2. She struck out and grounded out to Fuentes at shortstop. And on her strikeout, she struck out swinging. So she'll step in to face Collins for the second time. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball 1. On deck is the left fielder, number 20, Kelion Fuentes, and in the hole, the first baseman, number 12, Faith Rivera for Carlsbad. They've scored 1 in the first, 2 in the second, and 3 in the third. 1, 2, 3, leading 6-0. That pitch way outside, ball 2. Collins again ready to go. Here's the 2-0. Swung on. That's foul. Just foul down the third base line. So the count now 2-1 to Ortega. So we have Brooklyn Thacker, Janae Molina, and Tessa Yates from left to right. Kinsley Rodriguez, Brooklyn Fuentes, Ariana Montoya, and Kat Marcus from third to first. Jenna Whitmire catching, and Cambry Collins in the circle. There's your Bulldog defense. Wind in the 1-2. Nice pitch. Called a strike. So 2-2 now the count on a change up there. 2-2 the count. Nobody out. Runner at first base. And the pitch. Swung on. Fouled back and out of play. So the count will remain 2-2. Pretty chilly night here at the ballpark. It's been cool all day after our cold weekend. It was a bright sunny day, and then a foul tip into the glove, and that is strike 3 on the caught foul tip, and out number 1. So that'll bring Fuentes to the plate. She's 1 for 1. She singled her first time through out to left field and then walked her last time. She's got a runner down at first base and 1 out. Pitch from Collins, swing and a miss. Strike 1. So here at 8:06 p.m. outside, it feels like it's 55 according to my phone. We'll see. I mean, I don't know if that's right or not. That ball misses inside for ball 1. 1-1 now the count to Fuentes. She steps back in. Rivera on deck and Chester in the hole for the Cave Girls as the pitch from Collins. Swung on. She hit it a ton. It's going to be foul. 1 hops into the fence down in the left field corner for a foul ball strike. That's 1-2. So Thacker tracks it down, throws it back into the infield, and everybody will reset. 1-2 the count. If Carlsbad's keep up what they've been doing, they got to score 4 here in the 4th. That pitch inside Ball 2. And then they're going to ask for some help, but he's saying safe. So Whitmire turned and asked the umpire, can you ask? And he did. But not a swing. So the count is now 2-2. Here's the wind and the 2-2. Swung on, pop fly into shallow center field, and it's going to be caught by Fuentes. Didn't even make it to center field as our shortstop, Brooklyn Fuentes, went back and made the catch on the little pop fly. And so that is out number 2 in the inning. Weldon down at first, and at the plate is Faith Rivera, the left-hander. She is 0 for 1. She struck out looking her first time and walked her second, and she looks at ball 1, low and away. So 1-0 the count. Collins ready to go. Here's the wind in the pitch. Good pitch. Breaking ball. Well, it might have been a changeup. Whatever it was a good one. They caught the outside edge. Good change of speed, and so the count now 1-1 on the batter. Rivera back in. Whitmire setting up inside. Here's the pitch. She goes the opposite way. 6-hole. Thacker fields it and gets it into the infield, so the 2-out single over between third and short puts runners at first and second and brings to the plate number 6, Michaela Chester. Chester, the third baseman for Carlsbad. She's 1 for 2. She grounded out to Rodriguez her first time through and then hit kind of an odd-looking little bloop out in front of the plate. Oh, and she hits that a ton, but it's fouled down the left field side. It gets out of the ballpark, but foul. Anyway, it was kind of like a little pop fly swinging bunt, and it took a weird roll, and she ended up getting that infield single. But that foul ball is strike 1, so 0-1 to Chester. She steps back in. The umpire was asking for a ball, and he got one from the Bulldog dugout. 2 down, 0-1 the count. Runners at first and second. And the pitch from Collins. Swung. It's a chopper. Be foul down the third base line for strike number 2. 0-2 the count now to the batter, Michaela Chester. All right, so 0-2, Collins looking into Whitmire, getting her signal. Whitmire setting up on the outer third. Here's the pitch. Changeup is high for ball 1. 1-2 now the count. Top of the 4th inning. 6-0 Carlsbad. They won 10-1, did the Cave Girls in game 1. Here's the wind and the pitch. Pop fly. It's going to be caught. What was the call? I don't know what just happened. Umpire, I guess he waved off the pitch. The only thing I can think. That was a pop fly back, and Jenna went and caught it. Pop fly off to the right now to play. So count remains 1-2. I guess that was the call, no pitch. I guess that's what happened earlier, too, because we had a 3-2 count. And it was ball 4, and he held his arms up, and they did it again. So maybe that's what happened that time, no pitch. But in any case, the count is 1-2 with 2 outs. Runners at first and second. Here's a pitch from Collins. Too low for ball 2. 2-2 now to Chester. Bulldogs defense getting ready. Collins on the pitcher's plate as Whitmire gets back down in her catcher stance. And the pitch. That's too high. Ball 3. Throw down not in time. Down to first base. So a full count with 2 outs. The runners will be off and going here on the pitch. As Collins looking for a ground ball, a strikeout, or a pop fly. Here's the pitch. Swung on. That's a ground ball. It gets through. One run will score. The throw is going to come in. It's going to be caught by the catcher, Whitmire. The runners will hold up, but another run scores on the 2-out single through the left side. And that's an RBI as well. So runners at first and second once again. Carlsbad now leads 7-0 after that single run's batted in. Here's the wind and the pitch. Outside to Ortega for ball one. Kendra Ortega at the plate. She's 0 for 2. She grounded out her first time and hit into a fielder's choice her second time, but Carlsbad has got another run on the board. It's now 7-0. 1-0 the count and the pitch. Swung on, pop fly in the infield, and coming in and going to make the play is the third baseman, Rodriguez. So that is out number 3 on the pop fly. And a good communication there as Jenna looked like she was going to get it, and then she was called off. So that ends the inning, but Carlsbad scores another run off of 2 hits. There were no Bulldog errors and 2 runners left on base. It is 7-0 Carlsbad going into the bottom of the 4th inning.
Don't miss the spring showers bargains this week at Fenn's Country Market in Artesia. Select varieties of American Beauty pasta are 4 for $5, and select boxes of Kellogg's breakfast cereals are $4.98 each. In produce, green asparagus is $1.79 a pound, and Roma tomatoes are 2 pounds for $1. In the meat department, family packs of fresh 73% lean ground beef are $3.29 a pound, and family packs of fryer thighs or drumsticks are 99 cents a pound. These are some of the spring shower savings this week at Fenn's Country Market in Artesia.
When the power goes out, Central Valley Electric Cooperative linemen respond. No matter the time of day or night or weather conditions, they always show up to get the lights back on. The next time you flip a switch, take a moment to remember those who make it possible, the linemen who ensure we have reliable electricity. CVE would like to thank all linemen for their courage and commitment to powering our communities, not just on Lineman Appreciation Day, but every day.
Welcome back here to the ballpark. The Artesia Lady Bulldogs hosting the Carlsbad Cave Girls, and right now, through 3.5, it is 7-0 Carlsbad as they got 1 in the first, 2 in the second, 3 in the third, and then 1 in the top half of here the 4th inning. So 7-0 is the Bulldogs looking to battle back. Carlsbad won game 1, 10-1. So looking to sweep the Bulldogs at home. Of course, the Lady Bulldogs looking to get back here in this ball game and get the lead and get the win. So Kat Marquez coming to the plate, number 17. She is 0 for 1. She grounded out to the second baseman her first time through when she faced Aubrey Hernandez. So Hernandez ready to go. Here's the wind and the pitch. Swing and a check swing, actually, and it's a foul ball for strike 1. So 0-1 the count to Marquez. On deck for the Bulldogs will be number 13. As Apodaca will not be batting. That's going to be... Oh, just low. Ball 1. That was right down the middle. I thought he was going to call strike 2, but he did not. So 1-1 the count. Marcus steps back in. One on the count. Nobody out. Here's the pitch. High. Ball 2. Cambry Collins is the one on deck. Marquez looks at called strike 2. 2-2 now in the count to her. Two the count, or the pitch, down and in, ball 3. So full count now to Marcus. She will look to get a drive somewhere and start off with the hit. Start the inning off with a single, double, triple, or home run as the Bulldogs down 6-0. Here is the full count. Swung on, popped to the right side. That should get out of play, and it will. Oh, well, it was right against the dugout, but it'll just fall, so foul ball keeps the count full. So everybody's reset. Marcus ready to go. Hernandez with the wind in the 3-2. Swung on right up the middle. Great hit after a great at bat. So the single up the middle puts a runner down at first base for the Bulldogs, and coming to the plate is number 13. That's Cambry Collins coming in to hit. The pitcher for the Bulldogs. She came in for Apodaca. Here's the pitch. High, ball one. So this is Cambry's first at bat here in the ball game. She has a runner down at first. Switch hitter. She steps in on the left side. Hernandez takes a look into her catcher Ortega. Now down to her arm and knows the pitch. And here it is. Squares the bunt. Nice bunt out in front of the plate. Pitcher will pick it up. Not in time. She beat it out for an infield single. Nice play there by Collins as she bunts for the single.
Now coming to the plate, the third baseman.
And that advances, of course, to second base. Marquez, and now Kinsley Rodriguez will come to the plate with nobody out. Kinsley bats in the 4-hole. She calls time, too much time for her liking from Hernandez. Kinsley's 1 for 1. She singled through the 6-hole, her first at bat, and she'll look at ball one high here in her second at bat. Kellyanne Fuentes, Bianca Villa, and Ali Madrid left to right. Michaela Chester, Katrina Ortega, Paris Weldon, and Faith Rivera from third to first, with Kendra Ortega catching Aubrey Hernandez. That's your Carlsbad defense. Here's the pitch. Called, strike one on the outside corner. 1-1 now the count. Jenna Whitmire on deck and Tessa Yates in the hole for the Bulldogs. Here's the pitch, 1-1. That's going to be a little loop. It's going to get through on the left side, so everybody will be safe. I thought it was going to be caught, but it falls just short of the third baseman's glove and then skipped under the shortstop's glove, so the hit loads them up with nobody out, and Jenna Whitmire coming to the plate. Jenna will step in on the right side. She bunted her last at bat, sacrifice bunt, so she's 0 for 0. Here's the wind and the pitch. Big cut, come up empty though for strike one. On deck is Tessa Yates, and in the hole, Janae Molina for the Bulldogs. And the pitch, high and away, ball one. 1-1 now to Whitmire. So Hernandez looking into her catcher Ortega, now to her wristband. She's ready to go. Bases loaded, nobody out. Bulldogs really could get back into this right here. That's a ball way high and outside. So 2-1 now to Jenna. Hernandez. Here's the wind and the pitch. Called, strike one, caught the inside corner. Actually, strike two. So 2-2 now to Jenna. She steps back in, ready to go. Hernandez gets her signal, and now she's ready to go. So here's the 2-2. Big cut and come up empty, and that's strike three. So Jenna will go down swinging, and that'll be out number one, which will bring Tessa Yates to the plate.
Coming to the plate, number 12, Tessa Yates.
All right, so Tessa will step in. She is 0 for 1. She struck out looking her first time through. So here's the pitch. Called strike one on the outside edge. Rodriguez is down at first. Collins is at second, and Marquez at third for the Bulldogs as they're trying to get some runs to cross here with one out in the bottom of the fourth inning and down 6-0. The pitch, just low, ball one. 1-1 now to Tessa. Yates steps back in. Hernandez with the wind and the pitch. That's outside for ball two. So 2-1 now to Tessa. The wind and the pitch. Too low. Ball three. So 3-1 now. Janae Molina over in the on-deck circle. And I don't know if it'll be Hammond. Well, she pinch hit the last inning. There's a swing. Foul tip into the glove. Strike two. So a full count now with one out. Or if it'll be Brooklyn Thacker in that spot. Here's the pitch. Swing. It's a chopper to the third baseman. She comes home, and that is out number 2. So fielder's choice is out number 2.
Center fielder, number 10, Janae Molina.
So 5-2 the play. Everybody else safe, and so bases remain loaded. The first pitch to Molina is high, ball one. Janae struck out swinging her first time through. So Carlsbad able to keep that run from scoring as they cut her down at home plate. Now 2 down with the bases loaded. 1-0 the count to Molina. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike one. So 1-1 now with 2 down. So Yates stands down at first base, Rodriguez at second, and Collins at third for the Lady Bulldogs, trying to get these runs home, down 6-0 here in the bottom of the fourth. Hernandez ready to go. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. So 1-2 now the count on Janae. She steps back in. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball 2. 2-2. Tried to get her to chase a high and outside pitch, but she didn't give in. So Trey 2's up on the board. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bases loaded. As Molina gets ready to go. It is Thacker on deck. Here's the pitch. Little bloop on the infield. Second baseman bobbles it a little bit. And it's going to be everybody safe. 2 runs will score. And going over to second base is Molina. So the Bulldogs get the error on the second baseman.
Coming to the plate, number 1, the left fielder.
And so coming home.
Brooklyn Thacker.
And going to third and going to second, all on that error. So Brooklyn Thacker steps in. Where's number 1 on her jersey? She's been playing out right field. Here's her first at bat, though. Here's a pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 1. So the Bulldogs get some runs on the board. It's now 6-2 here in the bottom of the fourth inning. 7-2, yeah. 7-2 here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Here's the wind and the pitch. Swing and a miss. Big cut for Brooklyn, but come up empty. So Thacker will step back in. The count 0-2. 2 down. Runners at second and third. And the pitch. Outside, ball 1. 1-2 now the count to Brooklyn. On deck is Charisma Molina. And then we're back to the top of the order. Brooklyn Fuentes in the hole. Bulldogs can keep this 2-out rally going. Thacker ready to go. Here's the wind and the pitch. Swing and a miss. That will end the threat as she goes down swinging. But the Bulldogs get some runs across. They got 3 hits, 2 runs. There was 1 error and 2 runners left on base. It is now 7-2 Carlsbad as we head into the top of the 5th inning. We'll be back.
Hi, this is Danny Kirkendall with Guy Chevrolet Company in Artesia. We're celebrating 100 years in business here on the corner of 1st and Main in Artesia, and we invite you to come see us for your new Chevy, GMC, or a just perfect pre-owned vehicle. Our GM certified team is ready to assist you, so give us a call at 575-746-3551 or visit us online at guychevy.com.
Guy Chevrolet celebrating 100 years at the corner of 1st and Main in downtown Artesia.
Dean's Inc. of Artesia provides a superior choice for all your electrification, communication, and supply needs with a vision to be the premier industrial electrical service provider in New Mexico and West Texas, providing unparalleled quality in supplies and service with highly skilled and conscious personnel. We pledge to our customers to exhibit the utmost in integrity and reputation while providing superior quality in all we do. Dean's Inc., located at 409 Commerce Road or online at deansinc.com. All
right, we're back, and we do have a change on the field. As coming in to play second base is number 21, Janessa Rodriguez. And there might be a change at the batter. Let's see here. As I didn't see her number. It should be Allie Madrid, number 9. Here's the first pitch she'll see way outside. It is Madrid. I just saw the first base coach talking to the umpire, so I thought there might have been a change, but there is not. So 1-0 the count. She is 0 for 1. She walked her first time and then got hit into an error her second time. Here's the pitch. Down and in. Ball 2, 2-0. Now the count. Wind in the 2-0. Swung on, grounded to the right side, picked up, and thrown to first base by Rodriguez to Marcus, and that is out. Number 1 on the ground out. 4-3. And 1 down. And that'll bring number 4, Aubrey Hernandez, the pitcher, to the plate. She's 0 for 0. She walked and has been hit by a pitch. So she's been on both times. She'll swing at a good pitch for strike 1. Thacker, Molina, and Yates from third to first. From left to right. I'll give you the infield after this pitch. Well, I probably could have given it to you. Collins taking her time. Here's the wind in the pitch. Way outside. Ball 1. 1-1 now the count. So Rodriguez, Fuentes, Janessa Rodriguez, and Kat Marquez. So Kinsley over at third, Janessa at second. That's your infield. Jenna Whitmire catching and Collins the pitcher. That'd be Cambry Collins. 1-1 the count. Here's the pitch. Swung on, fouled off and back out of play for a foul ball, strike 2. 1-2 now the count. Collins again looking into Whitmire. 1-2 the count. And it's inside. Ball 2. Top of the order, Bianca Villa is on deck, and Paris Weldon, number 2 hitter, is in the hole. 2-2 the count. That pitch way outside for ball 3, so full count now to Hernandez. She steps back in after Whitmire went and got that off the netting. The wind and the pitch. Down and in, and that'll be ball 4, which will put a 1-out walk. We'll put Hernandez down at first base, and now we're going to have a courtesy runner, I think, coming in for the pitcher, and we do. So let's see who that is. Number 10 coming into courtesy run. And that young lady is Daisha Nieto. So she'll be down at first base with 1 out, 7-2 the lead, 5-run lead for the Cave Girls. We're in the top of the 5th inning. And Bianca Villa at the plate. She's 1 for 3. She has struck out swinging, then got a single out to left field, and then struck out looking her last time, and she looks at ball 1 here in this inning. So 1-0 the count with 1 out. As Collins gets ready to go, here's the pitch. Swung on. Foul ball down the left field line for strike 1. 1-1 the count. As they'll go gather that up, Thacker over in the corner gathers it up, gets it back into the infield. Brooklyn to Brooklyn, and then to Kinsley. And then back to the pitcher, Cambry. So 1-1 the count, 1 out. Runner at first base. Here's the wind and the pitch. A little bit outside, ball 2. 2-1 now the count. Villa steps back in. Here's the wind and the pitch. Good pitch. I guess it's a little high though. So ball 3. 3-1 now to Villa. Paris Weldon on deck, and Katrina Ortega is in the hole for Carlsbad. Collins ready to go. 3-1 pitch. Swung on. It's a ground ball up the middle. That'll be a base hit. So it'll move the runner over to second base. Bulldogs in the middle, kind of leaving the middle wide open as they've kind of cheated over toward third and first, respectively. And so, a while ago, it worked out real good for the out at second base because right where she was playing, which is deep over towards first base, is where they hit it. But that time, with Fuentes playing deep in the 6 hole, left that open, and there's a ground ball to Fuentes. She's going to turn and go to third. Nice play. Throw over to first, not in time, but it cuts down the front. The runner in front does Fuentes. Good job there on the fielder's choice. So 6-5 the play. Out at third on the force out. Runners remain first and second, and at the plate is Katrina Ortega. She is 0 for 3. She's struck out, grounded out, and fouled out. There's a pop fly to the right side, and it's going to be in foul territory, but reeling it in for out number 3 was Kat Marcus. So that ends the threat as the Carlsbad Cave Girls get 1 hit but no runs. There were no errors and 2 runners left on base as we go into the bottom of the 5th inning with our score 7-2 Carlsbad.
Hi Artesia, Cambria here from your local KFC and Taco Bell. And boy, do I have some amazing Tuesday deals for you. If you're grabbing a quick bite for yourself, you gotta try our country fried steak meal. This includes our delicious home-style country fried steak patty served with mashed potatoes and white gravy, creamy coleslaw, and a buttermilk biscuit, all just for $4.99. Looking to feed the whole fam? We got you covered. Try our $20 meal deal. This includes 8 pieces of all dark meat chicken, large mashed potatoes and gravy, a large coleslaw, and 4 buttermilk biscuits. As always, it's great to be a Bulldog, and we hope to see you soon at your local KFC and Taco Bell.
Hey, Robert, I'm your designated driver tonight. Pick you up at 7.
Sober driving today keeps others alive tomorrow. Designated driver. Never drink, then drive.
This message from the Eddy County DWI program.
Picture this. You're behind the wheel of a John Deere compact tractor. You're effortlessly breaking ground, moving piles of rocks just by moving a lever, and enjoying the sun as you clear brush across your pasture. We could keep trying to put you in the moment, but to really understand what this feels like, you just have to get in the seat.
Stop by Pecos Valley Equipment in Artesia and Roswell, or visit us online at pecosvalleyequipment.com.
All right, we're back from Charisma Molina at the plate. First pitch she sees, a big cut at it, but come up empty. So strike 1, 0-1 to count. She is 0 for 1. She struck out swinging her first time through. And the pitch. Swing and a ground ball to the shortstop. Throw over in time for out number 1 on the 6-3 put out. So that'll bring the top of the order, Brooklyn Fuentes, to the plate.
Coming to the plate, number 5, Brooklyn Fuentes.
She is 0 for 2, struck out looking both times, so she's due. She'll step in to face Hernandez for the third time. Here's the wind and the pitch. That's called strike one on a good fastball. Had some movement on it. 0-1 the count. Hernandez again looking at her wristband. Now she's got her pitch. Bounces it up there, ball one. 1-1 now the count. On deck is Cat Marcus, and in the hole, Cambry Collins for the Bulldogs. Here's the pitch. High and away, ball 2. 2-1. Now to Brooklyn. Hernandez ready to go. Here's the 2-1. Pop fly out of play on the right side for a foul ball, strike 2. So Brooklyn now 2-2 at the plate in this at bat. With 1 out, she steps back in. Hernandez is ready to go. Here's the 2-2. Down low and in for ball 3. So a full count now for Fuentes. Kellyanne Fuentes out in left. Bianca Villa in center. Ali Madrid in right. Michaela Chester, Katrina Ortega, Paris Weldon, and Faith Rivera third to first, with Kendra Ortega catching Hernandez. There's a swing. Ground ball shortstop. Picks it up on the second hop and in time at first base. And that is out number 2. Back-to-back 6 threes for the Cave Girls. That'll bring Kat Marquez to the plate. She'll step in on the right side. She's 1 for 2. She grounded out to the second baseman her first time through, but then her second hit a rope out to left center for a single. 2 down. Bulldogs looking to get a 2-out rally going here. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Good curveball. Strike 1. Cat steps back in. 0-1 the count. 2 down. And the pitch. A little bit in for ball 1. 1-1 now the count. Collins on deck. And Rodriguez in the hole for the Lady Bulldogs. Hernandez with the pitch. Swing and a miss on a great changeup. That is strike 2. 1-2 now the count. Hernandez got her pitch, and here's the 1-2. Fouled off to the right side for a foul ball strike. The count remains 1-2, and that bounced right into the back of my pickup, I think. All right, here's the 1-2. 2 outs. Pop fly back and out of play for another foul ball strike. So again, the count remains 1-2, and looking for some softballs is Mr. Umpire. I don't think the Bulldogs have anybody chasing them, maybe. But they get a couple balls in, so they must have been. So the umpire now has 2 in the bag and 1 out to the pitcher's circle. The count remains 1-2 after Cat has fouled off a couple in a row. Staying alive. And the pitch. And she got her to chase. That is strike 3. Swinging. And so the Bulldogs, no hits, no runs, no errors, and nobody left on base as we go into the top of the 6th inning with Carlsbad leading 7-2. Fuentes, Rivera, and Chester coming up for the Cave Girls.
If you're missing a tooth or several teeth, a dental implant may be the ultimate solution. Implants look and feel so much like real teeth that you probably forget you have an implant. Maupin and Brown Dentistry is one of New Mexico's most experienced implant providers, with literally thousands of implant patients who are absolutely delighted with the results. Call Maupin and Brown today for an evaluation. You'll be surprised how affordable implants can be. Maupin and Brown, your choice for experienced, state-of-the-art dentistry.
Artesia Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling, home-owned and operated for over 50 years, and here for all your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs. Artesia Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling has the expertise to install residential, commercial, and industrial air conditioning units, including the conversion of evaporative coolers to refrigerated air systems. Cut cooling costs with high-efficiency Carrier units from Artesia Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling, your authorized Carrier dealer. Artesia Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling, a proud sponsor of the Artesia Bulldogs and our community for over 50 years.
Welcome back to the ballpark, Bulldog and Cave Girl fans, as the Artesia Lady Bulldogs and Carlsbad Cave Girls here in the top of the 6th inning. Carlsbad leading 7-2, and that was ball 1 to Keleon Fuentes. She's 1 for 2. She singled her first time through, walked her second, and then flew out her third time. So she's been on the base paths twice tonight in this ball game. She was game 1 pitcher and winner. That's a pop fly high in the infield. Fuentes will go and make the catch at shortstop for out number 1. All right, so that'll bring Faith Rivera to the plate, number 12. Here's the pitch, high and inside, ball 1. Faith is 1 for 2. She struck out looking her first time through, walked, and then singled her last time at bat. And she'll step in with 1 out, 1 ball, and no strikes. And the pitch. A little bit high, ball 2. So the Bulldogs coming into this ball game 8-4, ranked second in Class 4A, according to the coach's poll. Here's the pitch. There's going to be a hit on the right side. So a single with 1 out. Brings Michaela Chester to the plate. Rivera now standing down at first base. Chester's 2 for 3. She grounded out her first time to Rodriguez, but then hit a pair of singles to that left side. One of them was that little short hit out in front on the left side. First pitch she sees, pop fly back into the net for foul ball, strike 1. So 0-1 the count on the foul ball. That pitch is swung at and missed for strike 2. Good pitch there by Collins. Got her to chase one down. So the count now 0-2 with 1 out. Rivera standing down at first base. And the pitch. Ooh, it was a good breaking ball. Just inside. That might have, I guess it was probably a changeup, but man, it was close, but called the ball. So 1-2 now the count. Here's the wind and the 1-2. Pop fly back and out of play for another foul ball strike. So they'll do it over again. 1-2 the count. Collins ready to go. Here's the pitch. She swung, tried to check her swing, but it could not, so that is out. Number 2, and that'll bring Kendra Ortega to the plate. Number 14. She is 0 for 3. She grounded out to the pitcher. She hit into a fielder's choice, and then she flew out. There's a line drive, diving catch by Brooklyn Fuentes at shortstop. for out number 3. Great job there on the line drive. Brooklyn dove to her left, caught it on the fly, and that is out number 3. So Carlsbad gets 1 hit, but no runs, no errors, and they leave 1 runner on the base path. It is 7-2 as we head into the bottom of the 6th inning. Carlsbad with the 5-run lead.
With a deep heritage in oil and gas, Abo Empire is focused on safe and effective energy development in New Mexico. We will continue to make strategic investments in this industry to promote the economic and environmental well-being of our company, our partners, and our communities. We are continuing the Yates tradition. From John Yates Jr., Cynthia Yates Price, and their families, we are your partners in the community and proud supporters of Artesia Bulldog and Lady Bulldog sports.
Hey, Artesia Bulldog fans, are you ready to unleash the spirit of victory this season? Tate Branch Auto Group is proud to stand alongside the Bulldogs as they charge onto the field, court, and track. Just like our commitment to delivering top-notch vehicles and service, your dedication and passion for the Bulldogs inspire us every day. Visit Tate Branch Auto Group today, either in person or online, because when it comes to supporting the Bulldogs, we're all in. Tate Branch Auto Group, revving up the Bulldog pride. Go Bulldogs!
All right, we're back here at the MAC as Carlsbad has taken the field. Coming to the plate for the Bulldogs will be our pitcher, number 13, Cambry Collins. Will lead things off. As Carlsbad has now thrown it down and getting ready to go here. Bottom of the 6th inning. Carlsbad leading the Bulldogs 7-2 here in game number 2. Bulldogs falling in game 1, 10-1. So they drop on the season to 8-5. Hernandez ready to go. Collins is 1 for 1, and she called strike 1 on the outside edge. She put down a perfect bunt and beat it out. Her first at bat. She steps back in. 0-1 the count. Here's the pitch. A little bit high, ball 1. 1-1 now to Cambry. On deck is Kinsley Rodriguez, and in the hole, Jenna Whitmire for the Bulldogs. Here's the wind and the pitch. Swing and a miss. Took a cut at it. A little behind on the fastball. So 1-2 now the count. So Hernandez ready to go. Here's the wind and the pitch. Pop fly out of play to the left side for a foul ball strike. And that'll take the count to 1-2. It'll keep it at 1-2. Collins back in, ready to go. And the wind and the pitch. She reaches out, and a little line drive looper over to the third baseman. Michaela Chester catches it for the pop fly, out number 1.
Now coming up to the plate, the third baseman.
So that'll bring Kinsley Rodriguez to the plate. Kinsley
Rodriguez.
2 for 2 in the ball game. She's hit a pair of singles, both to the left side. She steps in looking to drive it again. Whitmire on deck and Yates in the hole. Here's the wind and the pitch. Swung on, foul back for strike 1. Another softball comes in over from the Carlsbad dugout, so the umpire will put it in the bag. 0-1 the count. Rodriguez steps back in. Hernandez ready to go. She looked and got her pitch. And the wind and the pitch. Swung on, pop fly to the right side. That will get out of play, so it'll be foul ball, strike 2. Carlsbad defense, Fuentes, Villa, Madrid, left to right. Chester, Ortega, Weldon, and Rivera third to first, with Ortega catching Hernandez. So Katrina Ortega at short and Kendra Ortega behind the plate. Here's the pitch, away for ball. Number 1. 1 and 2 now the count. One, two, one out. Here's the pitch from Hernandez. Swung on. It's a pop fly. Second baseman fading back, and she's going to get turned around, so that's going to be a single. So she is now 3 for 3. So that brings to the plate Jenna Whitmire. She's 0 for 1. She sacrificed bunt and then struck out swinging in her last at bat, but she has Rodriguez down there at first. 1 out, 7-2 the score. And the pitch. Big cut. Strike 1 to Jenna. On deck is Tessa Yates, and in the hole, Janae Molina for the Bulldogs. As we're here in the bottom of the 6th inning with 1 out, runner at first base. And the pitch. High, gets by the glove, so moving down on the wild pitch is Rodriguez. And that's ball 1 to Jenna. So 1-1 the count with 1 out. Wind in the pitch. A little bit high, ball 2. 2-1 now the count to Jenna Whitmire. Rodriguez at second. 2-1 the count. 7-2 Carlsbad. And the pitch. That's high. 3-1. Here's the pitch, and that's a little bit high, and that is what? Yeah, that's ball 4. I was about to say, why is she not going down? All right, so ball 4 puts Jenna down at first base, and that'll bring Tessa Yates to the plate. Tessa 0 for 2. She struck out looking and hit into a fielder's choice her second time through. On deck is Janae Molina, and in the hole, Brooklyn Thacker. Here's the wind and the pitch. Swing and a foul ball for strike 1. Catcher's being asked by the umpire, "You okay?" Because I think it must have went off of her shin guard or something. She said, "I'm good." Tessa steps back in. Hernandez looks at her wristband, and now the pitch. 0-1 the count. High, ball 1. 1-1. All right, Yates steps back in. Here's the wind and the pitch. Called strike 2 on a good curveball. Caught the outside corner. So 1-2 now the count. Runners at first and second. Here's the pitch. Called strike 3 on the outside corner fastball. So that'll bring Janae Molina to the plate. She is 0 for 2. Struck out, swinging, and hit into an error. Her second at-bat. And so we're going to have a courtesy runner coming in for Whitmire. And it's going to be number 16. So the catcher being run for by Leslie Molina. So runners remain at first and second. Molina and Rodriguez. And at the plate, Janae Molina. 2 down now for the Bulldogs as they're trying to get some runs here. Down by 5, bottom of the 6th inning. 7-2 Carlsbad. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. All right, Hernandez ready to go. Here's the wind in the 0-1. Outside, ball 1. 1-1 now to Janae. On deck is Thacker, and in the hole, Molina. That would be Charisma Molina. Here's the wind and the pitch. High. and outside for ball 2. So 2-1 now to Janae Molina. Hernandez looking into Ortega. She gets her pitch. And that's going to be too low, so 3-1 now to Janae Molina. So the Bulldogs have the tying run over in the on-deck circle. It's 7-2. Actually, no, they don't. That'd be 4 runs. There's a swing and a miss for strike 2. So full count now to Janae. So the runners can be off and running here and they will be with 2 outs. And a full count at the plate. So Janae looking to drive one somewhere. Get both those runners in. Here's the wind and the pitch. Runners are off, and it's strike 3 right down the middle. Call strike 3. So 7-2. So the Bulldogs, they get 1 hit, but no runs. There were no errors, and there was 2 runners left on base. Our score is 7-2 as we go into the top of the 7th. We'll be back.
The Artesia Police Department wants to remind you to lock up your vehicles, take your keys with you, and never leave valuables in your vehicle. If you're looking for a rewarding career in law enforcement, the Artesia Police Department is looking for you. The department is currently hiring certified and uncertified officers. Take advantage of a great retirement plan, paid leave, and medical benefits. Apply in person, online, or call 575-746-5000 for more information. The Artesia Police Department is an equal opportunity employer. And please always remember, don't drink and drive.
Some wounds need expert care to heal properly. At Artesia General Hospital's Wound Care and Hyperbaric Medicine Center, we use advanced treatments like hyperbaric oxygen therapy to help chronic wounds heal faster. If you or a loved one has a wound that won't heal, call 575-736-8235 today and take the first step toward recovery.
All right, welcome back here. We're in the top of the 7th. At the plate, Ali Madrid. She'll look at, well, I thought call strike 1, but a little bit too low. Ball 1. On deck for the Cave Girls is Aubrey Hernandez, and then back to the top of the order, Bianca Villa in the hole. Here's the pitch. Down and in from Collins for ball 2. So 2-0 now to Madrid. She's 0 for 2. She walked her first time, hit into an error, and then grounded out. So she has been on the base paths twice, has Madrid. Swing and the fly ball out to right. Going back and making the play is Janessa Rodriguez. I'm glad they didn't collide out there. So the second baseman goes and gets it, tracks it all the way down on the shallow pop fly. Good over-the-shoulder catch for out number 1 here in the top of the 7th. So that'll bring Aubrey Hernandez to the plate, the pitcher. She has walked, hit by pitch, and walked. So she's 0 for 0, but she's been on base paths every time. Here's the pitch. Strike 1 called, said it caught the front end of the strike zone. Boy, I'd just live out there if I was these pitchers. That's almost impossible to hit. Collins goes back to work here with an 0-1 count to Hernandez. Same pitch, same result, strike 2 called. So defensively, Thacker, Molina, Yates out in the outfield. Rodriguez, Fuentes, Rodriguez, Marquez, third to first, and Whitmire catching Collins. 0-2 the count, 1 out. Hernandez back ready to go. Whitmire setting up on the inside. Here's the pitch. That's where she threw it, but it was a little bit too far inside. Ball 1. So 1-2 now the count as Whitmire setting back up on that outside corner. Boy, that's where, again, I would live out there with that pitch being called. Here's the pitch. Called, strike 3. And that is 2 down here in the top of the 7th inning. And that'll bring the top of the order to the plate. Number 17, Bianca Villa. 2 for 4. She struck out swinging, singled, struck out looking, and then singled again as she steps in to face Collins. Here's the wind in the pitch. Oh, got away from her. Ball 1. just a bit inside and high. So they'll reset as Whitmire went and got the ball off the net and gets it back out to Collins. And the pitch, a little bit high, ball 2. So 2 down here. Bulldogs looking to get the third and then come on in and bat and get at least 5 runs. Villa steps back in. And the pitch. A little bit high again, so ball 3. So 3 straight that really weren't close. One of them was way over her head. The next 2 were pretty high as well. So Collins just needs to settle down and put one down the middle. My guess is she's taking all the way at the plate. Here's the pitch. And she bounced it up there on the outside, so 4 straight balls after getting the first 2 batters down. So runner down at first base is Villa, and to the plate comes Paris Weldon, number 11. She's the second baseman. She was hit by a pitch twice. Wrapped around a pop fly and a fielder's choice, so she's 0 for 2, but been on base twice. All right, here's the pitch. Swung on. It's a ground ball in the infield. Picking it up and throwing it to first base was Kinsley Rodriguez, and that will end the threat. 5-3 to put out, and that is out number 3. So we'll head into the top or the bottom of the 7th inning. Carlsbad got no hits. There were no runs, no errors, and 1 runner left on base. Brooklyn Thacker will lead us off. Molina, that's Charisma Molina, and then Brooklyn Fuentes for the Bulldogs.
Reload Camp is back for 2025. This year's camp will take place April 12th and 13th in Portales at Eastern New Mexico University. Reload 2025 includes national-level trainers, college coaches from all levels, and former NFL players. Campers will experience drilling, field and classroom sessions, recruiting seminars, and guest speakers, and will leave compelled not only to be a dynamic presence on the football field, but even a better person off the field. Cost is $295. Register now at qbimpact.com/reloadcamp. This ad provided by Hawker & Sons.
RE/MAX Axiom, located in the heart of downtown Artesia at 402 West Main, Suite D and E, is staffed with certified full-service professional brokers. Whether you're buying or selling a home, the professionals at RE/MAX Axiom will lead you through every step of the process. Visit their website, remaxnmaxiom.com, or call 575-255-0111 to speak with a licensed broker. RE/MAX, voted the most trusted name in real estate, and RE/MAX Axiom are proud supporters of our community and all Bulldog activities. We have a big name, but a small town feel. We rise by lifting others.
All right, Brooklyn steps in. This is Brooklyn Thacker, and she looks at called strike 1 on the outside corner. She's 0 for 1, struck out swinging her first time through, so she's looking to get on base here. Start things off as the Bulldogs down 7-2 here in the bottom of the 7th. Hernandez has gone the whole way. Here's the pitch. There's a ground ball to the infield. The shortstop will pick it up, go to first in time for out number 1 on the ground out. 6-3 the put out.
Coming to the plate, number 23.
So that'll bring Charisma Molina to the plate. The DP will step in. She is 0 for 2, struck out her first time through and then grounded out to the shortstop her second time. 1 out. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Come up empty on that high heater, maybe a rise ball. 0-1 the count. Hernandez ready to go. Here's the pitch. That's going to be called strike 2 on a good fastball on the outside. So 0-2 now to Charisma. Takes a look down at Coach Polito, now steps back in. On deck is the top of the order, Brooklyn Fuentes. And in the hole, Cat Marquez. Strike 3 called on the outside corner. So that is now 2 down. The Bulldogs down to their final out here, down by 5. Brooklyn Fuentes looking to start things off. She's 0 for 3, struck out looking, and then grounded out to the shortstop, her last at-bat. So Hernandez with the wind and the pitch. Strike 1. Well, he called that a strike earlier. Ball 1 called. Thought it caught that front end, but maybe it's a little low. whatever the case, it's now 1-0 to Brooklyn as she steps back in. Marcus and Collins on deck and in the hole, Bulldogs, and they've got to do it here with 2 outs, bottom of the 7th. That's called a strike down the middle. 1-1 now the count to Fuentes. Steps back in, ready to go. Hernandez looks in to Ortega. Gives her signs, looks at her wristband, and now she's ready. Here's the 1-1. Swung on, fouled off to the right into the net for foul ball strike 2. 1-2 now the count. All right, so 1-2 the count as Fuentes steps back in. Bulldogs down to their final out here. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss, and that is it. The Bulldogs will go down in game 2. The final score, 7-2, and that is the ball game. The Bulldogs fall in game 1, 10-1, and then in game 2, 7-2. Against the Carlsbad Cave Girls. The winning pitcher was Hernandez for Carlsbad. The losing pitcher for the Bulldogs was actually, well, let me get into my stats here. I'll tell you what, we'll take a break and we'll be right back. I'll give you the couple of the stats. Stay tuned.
Innovation, service, integrity, and knowledge. J.S. Ward and Son Insurance Agency. Auto and home, life and health, personal and commercial. Bonds too, since 1925, we have the coverage for you. Innovation, service, integrity, and knowledge. J.S. Ward and Son Insurance Agency.
There are things you can do to improve the value of your current home if you plan to sell, and a few things you probably shouldn't do. The folks at Lois Oliver Real Estate are experts in real estate in Artesia and can help you with some great advice. If you want to talk to a local expert about buying or selling a home in Artesia, visit with any of the agents at Lois Oliver Real Estate. We know Artesia, and we're ready to help you buy or sell or find local experts who can answer your questions. Lois Oliver Real Estate, we love it here. Find us at 210 South Roselawn or online at loisoliverrealestate.com.
All right, welcome back here to KSVP Radio and KSVPTV.com. The final score, Carlsbad 7, Artesia 2 in game number 2. And for the visiting Carlsbad Cave Girls, the winning pitcher is Aubrey Hernandez. And she gave up, she kind of scattered some hits around. Let's see here. She had 12 strikeouts, 5 looking and 7 swinging for the Bulldogs, and gave up 5 hits, 1 base on balls, and gets the win for the Artesia Bulldogs. The losing pitcher ends up being Caden Apodaca. She only pitched the first inning, but gave up that 1 earned run, and it was 1-0 at that point, and the Bulldogs never got in the lead, so Caden takes the loss. The Artesia Bulldogs or the Carlsbad Cave Girls get 1 run in the first, 2 in the second, 3 in the third, 1 in the fourth, and that was enough. 7 overall off of 7 hits, and had 1 defensive error. They leave 10 runners on the base path. For the Bulldogs, they get their 2 runs in the 4th inning. Off of 5 hits that were scattered through the game. They had 3 defensive errors, and they leave 5 runners on the base paths. On behalf of KSVP, all of our folks, this is Joby Hodling saying I hope you have a great rest of your Monday night, and we'll see you at the next appointed time.
That concludes this presentation of sports on AM 990 and 93.7 FM KSVP and online at ksvptv.com. Sports on KSVP AM and FM and at ksvptv.com is presented by Abo Empire, Amigo Machinery, Artesia Animal Clinic, Artesia Credit Union, Artesia Ford Sales, Artesia General Hospital, Artesia Historical Museum, Artesia Plumbing and Heating, Big O Tires of Carlsbad, Bob Reed Pest Control, Kane Electric Supply, Carlsbad Ford, City of Artesia Police Department, Central Valley Electric Cooperative, Needs Incorporated, Devon Energy, Eddy County DWI, Edge Safety, Eastern New Mexico University Portales, and ENMU Roswell, Faith Baptist Church, Ben's Country Market, Forest Tire of Artesia and Carlsbad, Guy Chevrolet, H&R Block of Artesia, Hermosa Church of Christ, Hawker & Son, Incredible Printing, J&J Home Care, J.S. Ward, KC Light Tower, KFC, La Fonda, Lois Oliver Real Estate, Los Agaves Restaurant, Mac Energy, Moppin and Brown Dentistry, Nels Floral, Pecos Valley Equipment, Pressure Services, Smile Expressions, Spur Energy Production, Tate Branch of Artesia, Turpinning & Sons, Trustmark Roofing, Western Bank, and Wilbanks LLC. We now return you to your regular scheduled programming.